Way, the wannabe gamer, and my niggas. I want y'all to know I've been playing Division a lot lately, and I think today or tomorrow is the last day for the global event. So I got 3 level 30s, and this right here, this is my character that I use because I got the house on him. Wanted to get the house for this character. I want to do some other stuff for this character, but it's whatever. Alright, so we're gonna get straight on into it. If you're new to my channel, please like, subscribe, and if you didn't like the video, if you thought it wasn't helpful at all, I don't care, like it anyway. Share my channel, please. I'm trying to grow, you feel me? So yeah, I'm gonna get into one of the builds that I'm running, in a build that I want to go into. Right now, I'm running 2 different builds. I'm running in between Preds and Striker. I'll go over the stuff, the weapons to use, what not to use, maybe what you should try. I don't know, but usually it's just based off preference. Might throw some gameplay in there, you never know. Alright, sorry about that. So now, this is my Preds build. It's only 4-piece. I'm looking for a 6-piece. I just need a mask. And I need a holster. So yeah, and then coming over here, I'll show in a little bit my Striker build. So right now the weapons that I'm using is currently the house and the LVOA. See, I can change this gun to lightweight info or police info, which I'll go into a little bit later. But right now the house, I did get the best rolls. I got vicious, which is critical hit chance increased by 10% while having more than 2 segments of health, which I'm pretty healthy, not tanky. You can face tank with this, depending on how you approach the person and how much with the gear they're using. I got responsive, which is damage increased by 10% when closer than 10 meters to the target. And then of course card counter, which comes with the house. 1/2 of the magazine does 20% increased damage, and the half, which deals increased damage, flips after 15 seconds or when the magazine is empty. Alright, that's pretty much what I use. I got 23 critical hit chance, which I would recommend go use more critical hit chance stuff and critical hit damage stuff when using Preds 6-piece. But it really doesn't matter since I got 4-piece. I go more towards firearms and kind of make up for critical hit that I don't have. Now the LVOC, I have competent. I kept that because for like 2 reasons. One is I usually ran this gun with a electronic build, so I had a pulse. It really helped out with my damage, so I would get critical hits as well as a 10% increase for 15 seconds when I use my pulse. So I'm stacking up, and then I had responsive again and deadly, which increased critical hit damage by 15%. So that pulse really came in handy with the deadly. Even with responsive and competent, it just really helped. So that's pretty much what I'm running on that. Now I don't really think it matters too much about what pistol you run. I just got it. I don't even use a pistol much at all, probably. So now it goes to my Predator's Marks vest. It's not classified. It's just regular. It's rolled towards firearms. I got 1924 armor, which It's pretty helpful, I guess. Not sure exactly how helpful, but it's pretty helpful. Major attributes: 5% health on kill, which I can actually don't need. I can change that, but I already changed my primary towards firearms. Enemy armor damage, which really doesn't matter PvP wise, I believe. I'm not sure. I could be wrong about that. But I could have changed that as well. Now, minor attributes: increased kill XP, which is probably useless. Probably nobody cares about XP at all. Anyway, so what Prance Mark does with 2 pieces: reload speed increased by 10%. Three 3-piece assault rifle and SMG damage increased by 8%. And 4-piece hit 10 shots without switching targets to make the target bleed 50% damage already done by those bullets. Now, that's pretty much what I'm running. I'm running the Ninja Backpack, which I'll go into this. Ninja Backpack, pretty much it replaces a missing piece. So if you have 1 piece, it'll automatically go to 2-piece. If you have 3-piece, it'll go to 4-piece. It's 2-piece, 3-piece, whatever, so on like that. But this does not work for classified. So I have a classified here. If I were to have 3 classified or 2 classified Alpha Bridge, it would not give me. If I had no, let me explain that over. Apologize for that. If I had 4 Alpha Bridge, it would not give me a 5-piece. If I had 5 Alpha Bridge or Preds, it will not give you the 6-piece. It does not work for classified. It only gives you up to 4 pieces as a normal gear set would. Now this is rolled towards health. I never changed anything. Didn't feel like I wanted to change anything. I didn't care. Plus, health is actually something that's useful in this. So major attribute is health, 12,472 health added to this. Minor attribute is 16% burn resistance, which is kind of helpful a lot for turrets, which back in 1.7 a lot of people used the Firecrest turrets a lot more. Now my Prance gloves is rolled towards firearms. Didn't change anything on this. I didn't really care too much for it. Major attributes: critical hit chance increased by 5%, skill haste by 8%, enemy armor damage by 8%, which, like I said earlier, doesn't really matter. Now my Alpha Bridge mask, armor is at 1,000. It's probably like the highest thing I've ever gotten towards the mask, and I got this like at 1.6, I believe. I'm not sure exactly which update I got it in. Now, let's roll towards health. The thing I changed was the burn resistance. Like I said, at 1.7, everybody was using Firecrest. It was burning me up, so I decided let me put on some burn. Major attribute is excited damage resilience. It's not bad because seeker mods were getting me at 1.7. 1.7.1 I believe is what they updated, so it didn't really matter too much exactly, but I guess it's a little bit helpful. Now I'm using Prance Mark classified knee pads, which I roll towards health. Stamina. The major attributes is skill power, 13,339, which I just wanted to be able to kind of heal myself just a little bit. It's not a lot, but it kind of helps in dire situations. Minor attributes: 33% burn resistance, which is definitely great, must need, and usually I don't take much damage at all. 29% increased distort resistance, which not many people, well, they use it a lot now, so I guess it's helpful, but back then it wasn't really too much helpful. 60% damage towards elites. It's pretty good if you're farming, but other than that, I could have changed it. Didn't really care too much about it. I'm not done rolling this stuff yet. I'm gonna optimize it. Now my holster is Alpha Bridge, so its major attribute is health, 7,558. Now everything else is nothing to it. It's just pretty much distributed evenly among the other stuff. Now 2-piece is health regen. 3 pieces weapon damage increased by 5%. That's pretty much what I'm running right there. So pretty much this is it's pretty good build here. The bleed is insane. I usually melt people with it. Damage for my house is 19.4k. Um, Damage for my LVOA is 18.9. Now I've been using this for another build. I think my striker build is 19.0k, which is actually not bad at all. The fire rate or RPM round per minute is 850, which a lot of people just like disregard this for some reason. It's a really good gun. It's basically like a lightweight M4, but since they nerfed the lightweight M4, it's not as good as this, I guess. I'm not sure. I've been using this in the previous updates, like 1.6, I believe, and 1.7. I've used this. It wasn't a bad gun. I actually used the G36C. It's not bad. You can use the MP7, which I would recommend you use a lot of critical hit damage and chance, just because the base damage is low, but the fire rate is really, really fast, extremely fast. This has been nerfed, but still a really good weapon. I have multiple different Navy MP5s because previous not episodes previous updates is pretty good. So now I'll go over to my striker build. Now again, we're running the house again, which I'm running vicious, and then vicious, responsive, and the car counter, of course. And this is where I'm running my police M4, which I ran deadly, brutal, and responsive. Now I could have changed brutal, but I kind of like to add brutal because when I do hit headshots, I want to do that 12% increased damage. So it's pretty helpful here and there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that. But 20.4k base damage for my house. Got 17.9k, which actually dropped a little bit, but doesn't really matter. If you look at it, it's still more than this. What's my lightweight M4? Don't believe I have one up here. Wow, it's crazy. Usually I stay with it, but I have a Liberator. This Liberator is 17.0k. So yeah, still more than that too. Yeah, sometimes I do run the Liberator with a lot of stuff, which I have responsive, prepared, and competent, which is actually a record right here. So at a distance, I'll do a damage increase by 15% or more than 30 meters from the target. And then when they come closer, I do kind of reduce damage by 5%, but still I have responsive, so I do about 10% whenever I'm there. So, yep. Alright, now going into my other stuff. Now I have a 6-piece striker's holster, which I'll go ahead and tell you what the 6-piece does. So for every hit, adds a self-healing bonus for 0.02% of max health per second. This bonus is increased by 0.5% for every 3,000 stamina. Stacks up to 100 hits. Missing shots drop the bonus by 1 stack, and the bonus is reduced by 2 stacks every second. Alright, so that's pretty decent. Now the 4-piece does every consecutive hit deals 1% more damage, stacks up to 100, missing shots drop bonus by 2%, bonus is reduced by 1% every second, bonus can be paused by EMP, and is lost when exiting combat. So that pretty much it does some damage. But my holster is rolled towards stamina. Now in order for me to be a little bit tanky, I rolled towards health because I wanted it towards health because you're gonna need a lot of health when running with 1.8 because people are using like some stuff that just melts through health. So I needed 6,000 stamina so I could get this. So I could get a pretty healthy health regen. I would say regen. So whenever you got the 6-piece proc or whatnot, for every 3,000 stamina, you can get increased health per second and stuff like that. So I went with 6-piece. The 9-piece wasn't hitting as hard, but it wasn't bad at all for survivability reasons, but it's pretty good. So major attributes is skill haste, ammo capacity, and for 48 skill haste, 9%, health 1496, 916. So not too bad, I guess. The mask, for the mask is rolled towards firearms. I just wanted to get firearms over 6,000. Now, major attributes is skill power, 9,371. Minor attributes, 14% blind depth resistance, which I don't need at all. I could have changed it, but I needed to change more things that was important. So that's pretty much what I'm running there. Now, for my strikers knee pads, I got rolled towards the stamina, of course, because I needed that 6K. Um, Major attributes is health, 15,144. Minor attributes is 14% damage to elites, which I don't need. 29% disrupt resistance, which I actually do need at 1.8. 31% bleed resistance, which is definitely needed for excuse me, which is definitely needed for Preds. But if they have a 6-piece Preds, which I didn't go over 6-piece Preds, which I'll go over now, hitting 10 shots without switching targets now applies to Predator's Mark, which makes the target bleed for 50% of damage already done by those bullets. Now this is added to that 4-piece. Alright, 4-piece, which adds 10%, 10 hits, 50% damage already done. So it's adding on, so you're doing more like 100%. But usually if you go through like stamina of 9,000, typically you'll have lower damage dealing, so 100% is pretty much not as much as it would have been if you had higher firearms. Now for 50% already done, the Preds Mark ignores the target's bleed resistance, so that will be my downfall. As for my striker build having bleed resistance, it will ignore that, so basically be 0 to a Predator's Mark 6-piece, which is probably the only downfall towards the striker build, but don't worry about that at all. As long as you face tank, belt them, don't let up, you'll be good. Alright. So now the damage over time to the target is increased by 15% for every 3,000 stamina, which a lot of people runs 9,000 stamina, which is smart, because when at 9,000 stamina, the damage over time bonus is increased by an additional 120%. Now, when doing this stamina over 9,000, definitely go for a lot of critical hit. Definitely go for a lot of critical hit damage, chance, and everything like that, because it does critical hit. It doesn't just do based off of base damage. It does critical hit too. So stamina and can critically hit the target. All right, increased by 15% over for every 3,000 stamina. So it'll definitely destroy people. You should go check out my man's Jasamian. He actually has a great build for that. All right, now back to this. My major attribute is health. Yep. Minor attribute, the bleed resistance, which doesn't really work towards Preds. So 6-piece Preds. So let's move on to my holster. I have towards firearms because I wanted more firearms. I didn't care too much about stamina. I could have actually went towards skill power, which would have been the best thing to do, just because I want to be able to hit hard, I want to be able to tank, and I want to be able to take down people's health. So major attribute is health, 7,931. Then I roll towards firearms, of course. Yeah. Did go over this. So 2 set piece bonus is the stability. 3 is 10% enemy armor damage, which I really don't need. Like I said, 5% is 10% more stamina, 5% more enemy armor damage. Now for my gloves, roll towards firearms, critical hit damage. Give me a second. So critical hit damage increased by 17%. SMG damage increased by 12%. Pistol damage, don't need it, but it helps. Now, I could have changed the pistol damage. I don't need it, but it was an LMG for SMG, and SMG I definitely need for my house, which you'll understand. House is a god weapon. Now, for my backpack, I have major attributes of skill power increased by 12,153. I rolled towards stamina, of course, needed at 6k. Didn't want to go anything below. And then minor attributes is ammo capacity increased by 52%. Now, for the mods, I wanted to run some for skill power, but also it gave me firearms. So I went for firearms. Didn't really care if it what else for like skill power or anything like that. I just went for firearms to get a little bit higher, and I also went with some for stamina just because I needed to reach 6,000. I took a lot of stamina mods off, but I didn't take enough off to go under 6,000 because I needed at 6,000. Now, another video, I'll go ahead and show you guys this build. Probably go to last stand. I don't go to my score is, must have. So yeah, guys, today is the last day, which today is what is the 20th, right? No, it's 20. It's 19th. What was the day? 19th. So yeah, 18 hours left. Make sure if you have this game, do follow lines of using Nomad, Strikers, or Preds. I prefer Preds because Striker is just harder to use because you have to have good aim. I don't have the best aim. Don't really care too much if I because that bleeds as long as I don't switch targets, which will do a lot of damage. Now, I'll see you later, and I'm out.